The Lakers defeat the Warriors 103-100 in an instant classic. What a game. LeBron James, after struggling the whole game, clearly looking hobbled, clearly not 100%, clearly still a little bit injured, hits the game winner in Steph Curry's face to seal the game for the Lakers 103-100. What a game. Where were you guys watching this game? Because it was an instant classic. I loved every minute of this game, the intensity of the game at Staples Centers. The Warriors came in a hot streak, gave it everything they got. 13-point lead at halftime. Lakers come back firing in the second half. Lakers really clamped down their defense in the second half, control the Warriors for the most part. It was just an amazing game. Two of the greatest players of all time, two of the greatest players of this generation, LeBron James and Steph Curry going at it. It was a spectacle. It validates this playing format. Whoever came up with this playing format must have been tears in their eyes watching how good of a game this was. My God, I was at a bar watching this game and it was going crazy. It was super intense. It was exciting. I missed this whole environment. It's one of the first times I'm at a bar really watching like a important game since the pandemic happened. And it was just a joy to experience. I loved every second of it. And as a Laker fan, I must say I was very happy with the conclusion. The Lakers lock up the 7th seed. The Warriors play the Grizzlies tomorrow, Friday night, for that final 8th spot for the West. I do believe, with what I saw from the Warriors, it's a rematch of the last game of the season. The Warriors already beat the Grizzlies to get that 8th seed for that play-in. Now they play the Grizzlies again. Again, it's going to be in the Bay Area. It's going to be in San Francisco at the Chase Center. And I think the result is going to be the same. I think the Warriors are just playing really good basketball. Grizzlies also had a good game against the Spurs. The Spurs, always well coached by Popovich, didn't go away easily. They gave the Grizzlies a fight, but the Grizzlies were able to get the victory. But I think it's going to be more of the same. The Warriors just have more firepower than the Grizzlies. They're going to be able to contain Ja Morant. They're going to expose his lackluster three-point shooting ability. And I think Steph Curry is just not going to let the Warriors lose and not make the playoffs. So hopefully, now I must say I wasn't always the biggest fan for Steph, but I've grown to really appreciate him. And it would be a shame if he doesn't make the playoffs. Obviously, Ja Morant deserves to be in the playoffs at some point, and I think he's gonna be great. But I just want to see Steph in the playoffs. But back to this game, man, what a show! Like, especially with how there was a lot of swings. The Warriors came out strong. Wiggins came out strong. He blocked LeBron James. He hit a three in his face in the corner. Steph was going off. Draymond Green was controlling the paint. He was completely shutting down AD. It looked like AD wanted no business of Draymond Green. It was the Warriors half. Like, I was watching that game and I was worried. I was like, oh my God, are we really gonna lose? Because I'm a Lakers fan. I'm sorry, I'm a little biased, but I was thinking like, damn, are the Lakers really gonna lose and go play the Grizzlies and win it in your end game? That's bad news, especially because LeBron looked hobbled. You could tell he didn't have the same like explosion off his hops, off his attacks to the rims. You could tell he's not 100%. AD looked super passive, super just relaxed. He just passed the ball to everybody else. He looked like he didn't want to take that alpha role when the Lakers really needed AD to take that alpha role with LeBron hobbled. And for the Warriors, it just looked like they were building on how they finished the season. It just looked like they had all the momentum. Their role players were playing the role. Everyone just looked comfortable. 13-point lead for the Warriors going into the half. Steph Curry hits a buzzer beater to end the half. It looked like the Warriors were going to run away with it at some point. It looked like LeBron James was never going to get it going. It looked like AD was never going to get going. I think they had like 11 points combined at the half, and they were shooting like 20%. It was bad. AD hadn't scored a three all game. LeBron James looked hobbled. It looked very dire for Laker fans out there. It looked very dire. It looked like it was going to be Lakers versus Grizzlies. In the second half, the Lakers defense really came through, really slowed down that Warriors offense, allowed the Lakers offense to get into a rhythm. If the Lakers wouldn't have been so good defensively last night, I think they would have lost because it took a while for the offense to get going. It took a while for AD to get going. LeBron James had a decent game. Like, he had the game winner, and we'll touch on that. But without the game winner, like, if you just look at his game, he was getting some rebounds. You know, he got his assist, but he didn't have that much of an impact as a scorer. And I believe it's because he's still a hobble. That ankle still bothered him. But he got the game winner, and thankfully for Laker fans out there, and the Lakers, AD got going at the end too. He finished with 25 points, and at halftime, it looked like he was going to struggle to even get to 10. It looked like if he got 15, it was going to be a victory for the Lakers. He finishes with 25. Lakers had key contributions from Kuzma. Kuzma had a really good game. There was like a pass to AD that he had that I don't think Kuzma makes in the past. He would have probably chucked up a 3. This time, the ball gets kicked back out to him. It looks like he's going to shoot. And then midair, he passes it back to AD. 2 points. I really like the maturation of Kuzma this season. I think he's developed as a player. Hopefully his scoring just comes along as the playoffs go through. But we'll see. Caruso had a great game. Caruso at one point was like perfect from the field. And I think there was just a lot of key contributors. Schroeder had a terrible game. 3 for 14, just absolutely terrible game. I think he's not gonna play that bad the rest of the playoffs. He's had some good games. He's been kind of hot and cold lately, but I think Schroeder, he's still gonna be reliable for the playoffs. And I think Drummond's his minutes are gonna go down because AD at the 5 is what the Lakers need. When AD and Drummond are playing together, I think AD just plays too passive. He likes to step into the 3-point line too much. He doesn't like to get down and dirty under the paint, under the basket. And I think we need more of AD down there just dominating. Because in the first half, not going to lie, I was getting very frustrated seeing AD matched up against Draymond Green. And instead of trying to back him down, instead of trying to, bully him, take advantage of his height, he would like post him up once or twice, like 1 dribble, 2 dribble, and then kick out. And one thing I also noticed about the Lakers, they were trying to do a bunch of little bounce passes into the middle, into the paint. And those just turned into like a lot of turnovers. Credit for the Warriors for anticipating those bounce passes, for cutting the lane, for getting their hand in there, forcing all those turnovers. But that was one of the frustrations as a Laker fan when I was watching the game. I thought they were trying to do too many bounce passes into the lane, under the basket, and they weren't working out. But the game came down to LeBron James making that clutch shot at the end. After getting hit in the eye by Draymond Green, LeBron James said that he saw 2 to 3 baskets out there. I don't know if he's serious. I don't know if he's just playing the media. But regardless, he did get hit in the face. It looked like his eyes were getting a little watery. He got poked in the eye by Draymond Green. And to hit that game-winning shot at the end, it was a perfect finish for a great game. I wish the Warriors best of luck against the Grizzlies. I do believe they're going to win. And for the Lakers, they move on to the Suns, and we'll touch on that in a little bit. But overall, the best play-in game so far. Validates this whole system. We got to see Steph versus LeBron James. Let me know what you guys think about the game. Was it fun? Did you guys enjoy it? Are you guys glad there's a playing game? Or should we just go back to the old format where, the first 8 seeds go in and then they figure it out? But personally, I like the play-in. Didn't really like the East. The games in the East, they weren't that good. The Celtics blew out the Wizards. The Pacers blew out the Hornets. But the West playing games are good. Grizzlies versus Spurs. They both play like very fundamental basketball. It was a really good game. And then the Warriors versus the Lakers just was chef's kiss. Mwah. It was perfect. It was a great game. I enjoyed every second of it. I think instant classic. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoy the play-in or not.